Have no fear. The reader is here. What's up, witches? Good morning. Yeah, I see you guys in the comments. It is Brick City out here. If you're not from the Bronx, you may not be familiar with that terminology. I'm not 100% sure if the kids still use it these days, but back in the day, we used to say it is Brick City out here because it's so cold. It's like you got smacked with the brick. So I feel you guys if it is also super cold. But hey, today or tomorrow rather is the full snow moon. So it feels very appropriate, right? Okay, the usuals. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I was contemplating plugging in. Good morning, Vanessa. I was contemplating plugging in the microphone I use for podcast recording. But if you tuned in, if you're a Coven member and you tuned in behind the scenes to the last taping, then you know that my microphone is on its way out, or at least the cord is. So I was like, I hope we can handle this day without a microphone because I need to get a new one. All good, says Betty. Okay, that's good news. That's good news. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, witches. What's going on? Thanks for waiting, those of you who are waiting. I was opening up the shop, getting all the lights on, turning on the Mozart, and all of that good stuff so that I'm ready to rock when we open because we're in the shop today. 19 degrees in South Jersey. Yeah, I think the last time I checked it said it's like 25 is gonna be the high and then like 4 is gonna be the low. Which, like, listen, we were just like literally just bitching and moaning last week about how like there's been no snow. Oh my gosh, there's no winter. Is this the end times? So, you can, people are never happy. We're like, which is it? Which is it? Good morning, good morning. So I don't know if Nuri is in the building right now. Good morning. Good morning, Madeline. Let me see if I can take care of this person. Okay, I deleted this person. So I don't know if Nuri is here. If you guys don't know who Nuri is, she is the moderator of the BronxWitch Coven Facebook group. And she usually moderates the lives when she's here, but I don't think that she is here. Does anyone want to be moderator? My eye was drawn to you, Madeline. I don't know if you are going to be hanging around enough this morning, but would anybody like to be the moderator if you plan on being around? Jennifer? Okay, my love. Gracias. It's 12:20 in Australia. Hey, from Australia. What's going on? Down under. Okay, Jennifer. I think I just added you as a moderator, my dear. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate you. Yeah. Thanks. All right, guys. Jennifer's in charge, okay? Respect. Respect the moderator. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so what's going on? Are you guys feeling this full moon like I am? Oh my gosh. Got my moonstone on. You guys already know how much I am impacted by what the moon is doing, incredibly sensitive to it. And the moon is in my sun sign in a very powerful way. The full moon is going to be occurring tomorrow, Sunday, February 5th at 1:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe. And it is going to be in 16 degrees of Leo is where this is occurring. And my sun is at 16 degrees of Leo exact. So I am I got no sleep last night. Could not sleep. I got a lot of work done, which was good. But yeah, literally super wired. This always happens to me at the full moon in general. I have a burst of energy that's usually at night, and it's hard for me to sleep, which is kind of a good thing if you're a witch, because I usually take advantage of that time to be doing something. But staying on my sleep schedule and stuff like that, that doesn't really work for that. So it can be a little bit tricky, but full moons in Leo obviously are usually really intense for me. And then for it to be occurring exactly at 16 degrees Leo, my sun sign, 16 degrees Leo, that's intense. So if you're wondering what I am talking about, and it sounds confusing and crazy, do not worry, because you are not alone. Astrology is a really big and complicated thing, and I am not an astrologer, but I have learned that if I pay attention to what is happening astrologically, especially with the moon, I'm able to navigate my life a little bit better, understand my feelings. Despite the fact that I was up all night last night, I was expecting to be up all night last night because I know that happens to me. So I like to pay attention to that. And we usually talk about that a little bit before I pull cards for all of the zodiac signs, because it always ends up showing up. And if you are feeling it too, I am here with you. I am I am with you. I understand the problem. Okay. Hopefully Jennifer is on that situation. I may have been able to help there too. Okay. Yeah. So look into it. Follow astrologers, because I'm not an astrologer. We'll be pulling tarot cards today if this is your first time around here. But definitely look into how these things might be impacting you, because that's the whole idea for me of paying attention to it, is it just makes navigating life a little bit easier. So I was expecting to be up late. I was expecting to have energy. I've been kind of planning for that and planning things that I'm going to be doing over the next couple of days, because I know I'm going to have the juice to get it done. So we use this information to help us prepare and plan. So that's what's impacting me really heavily right now. It might be impacting you heavily as well. I think one of the best things that you can do for yourself is to pull your natal chart if you never have, and find where 16 degrees of Leo falls in your chart. And it's going to be somewhere. And see what house that is in your life. And that's going to help you to better understand, even better than this reading, where that might show up in your life, where this energy of the full moon in Leo for you might be showing up. Okay. So that's how you can use that information to your benefit. Okay, hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let's see if I can help. You went to bed at 1 and up at 6. I was literally still up at 3:30 or something, I think. Then I dozed off. Then I got up. No worries, Jennifer. Me too. Me too. We are both on the case. We are both on the case. We are both on the case. Let's see. Thank you, Jeremy. Okay. Let's see. I don't have a lot of tech savvy. So we'll see if that helped at all. Yeah, so I was just mentioning why we take a look at the astrology. If you are new around these parts, hi, I'm Allie. I'm the Bronx Witch, and this is our Tea and Tarot time, live Zodiac tarot readings for the full moon, the full snow moon, actually, that is happening on Sunday. We come together every new moon and full moon to pull cards. We've done this in different fashions for the collective, etc. But right now we are doing them for the Zodiac, and that's been a lot of fun. So we're going to keep doing that. So I'll pull cards for the collective first, but then all of the Zodiac signs to give you an idea of how this full moon in Leo might be impacting you specifically. You know, generally speaking, we talk about the full moon as a time of, abundance and gratitude and things really coming to fruition and seeing rewards, seeing your efforts, pay off. It's also a time for really big change, a really big illumination. It's usually when we, finally see things with clarity that maybe we had a little bit of confusion about, or we get settled in a place, and we know like how it is we want to move forward. And with it being in Leo, this, for me at least, it feels like a really good time to focus on self-expression, because the motto of Leo is I will. And let me tell you something, I know all about that, okay? That is big Leo energy, I will. And the question I think that Leo is always asking itself is, what is my will? Who am I, and what is my will? And that's an important question, I think, to always be asking, but I think it comes up a lot when it comes to like Leo energy. So for me, like I was saying, check your birth chart. This shows up in a space of career and professionalism and like things that I am working on in the shop and all of that good stuff. So we're going to be looking at your Zodiac specifically to see how illumination, how things coming to fruition, how new directions, and your own self-expression might be, that energy might be impacting you. And of course, if you want to go deeper into your own specific life, you can always book a private reading with me or with any of the witches here at the shop if you're local and want to come down and get an in-person reading. We'll have 2 witches in the shop today. We will have Leslie and Fifi. So come on by. You can learn more about them at bronxwitch.com. Before we get into the readings, I did want to thank you guys so much. Oh, good morning, Missy. For all of your donations in the last live video, and for those of you who stopped by the shop and gave donations that day, which was like amazing. We were able to purchase the A-frame sign that we want to put outside of the shop. And now we are moving on to phase 2 of this project, which is to get the posters that go in it printed. So if any of the messages resonate with you today and you decide to leave a super chat, or you're watching this later and you leave a super thanks, or you scan the QR code over in the corner and leave a donation on the website, all of those funds are going towards printing the posters that are going to go inside of the A-frame. And I thank you so much in advance. May everything you give to me come back to you 3 times 3. Good morning, Josie. Welcome. Oh, I'm definitely going to, don't you worry, Jeremy. There will be pictures, there will be videos. Yes, I will be showing off our fancy new sign. I mean, it's not terribly fancy, but it's fancy to me. I will be showing it off and letting you guys know. Full show. Full show. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for that. I also want to thank folks who gave donations from our Amazon registry. So if you don't live near here, you're not able to stop by, but you want to help support the shop, you can do that in a lot of ways. You can get merch, but you can also go and get something off of our registry. Thank you, Addie, for donating the toilet paper. Shout out to you. Thank you, Lauren Bird, for the disinfectant spray. Thank you, Vanessa, for the sign that's going to go outside of the door. These things like help us to operate daily, and they are very, very, very much appreciated. So thank you guys so much. Another beautiful day at HQ. Thanks to you guys. So I appreciate you. All right. So I hope everybody is good in the comments. I can see you guys on YouTube, and in the YouTube comments, everything looks empty. But then over in the restream comments on the screen, I'm not so sure. So hopefully we're all good and you guys are not being harassed by trolls. We do have a moderator in the room. So make sure to mind your P's and Q's. That is Jennifer. So be respectful and all of that good stuff. Obviously talk amongst yourselves while we're reading. And if you want to spend some quality time to dive into these things further, learn more about the shop, donate, get merch, all of that stuff is down in the description box. All right, okay. What are we sipping for tea? This is important. We need to address this. I am having my blood clot chai because, of course, I would have my moon time on top of this really crazy, powerful moon. Oh, also, by the way, I forgot to mention, this is something that I just learned and it might be useful to you. Aside from the moon, you might want to look into how the square with Uranus. Do you guys say Uranus or Uranus? Did we talk about this the last time? I'm such a child. Uranus may also play into things because apparently that adds an extra energy of like rebelliousness and wanting to start fresh and assert yourself and go against the grain. So I feel like this is going to be a real feisty full moon for a lot of us. Real feisty full moon for a lot of us. Yes, Jeremy's having some not today Satan. Yes. How effective is it though? Not to toot my own horn, but beep beep toot toot. I love all my teas, but I really do have a soft spot for my not today Satan because it just gets the job done. Anytime I feel like something is coming down and I start drinking it right away, I'm good. It's just a beautiful. I am so like just grateful to those particular herbs. They're all so like. I mean, lavender, eucalyptus, chamomile, these are herbs that have been coming through for us for eons. Oh, don't feel bad, Missy. I may have been out. Blood clot chai. Sorry, this is a secret personal stash. It's out in the shop because my herb supplier is out of cramp bark and has been for a while. And I really don't like to mix and mingle my herb suppliers. I get my herbs from just like 2, maybe 3 places. So if they're out of something, then that sometimes just means I have to be 86 because I don't want to take a chance somewhere else. I like to get my stuff and know what I'm expecting. And so, unfortunately, waiting for more. But I would share my secret stash with you if you'd like to have a cup. Yes, not today. Satan is in stock, and I will share a secret cup with you of Black Hot Tribe a little bit. Thank you, Jeremy. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Yes, handle up on the tea. Oh, I'm so excited, guys. This has nothing to do with the readings. We do need to get into it. I am so excited because can I show you something? Can I like shop owner nerd out with you guys for a little bit? So you can probably see maybe a little bit the herbs behind me that are in these glass jars. And like this has been an evolving process. Like this shop has basically grown from being like my magic room. Like, you know, one of my friends, I remember distinctly was over one day and she was like, "You have a shop in your apartment." Like, because, you know, I have all this stuff. It's just something that happens after like a long time of doing something. You collect all of the little things. And this has kind of grown from that. So the apothecary, the former apothecary, is definitely a example of that because um, everything is like mismatched and stuff like that. And I take great care of everything. And like I said, I'm very particular about my suppliers. And there's like terpene shields and my herb blends and blah blah blah. But it's a little discombobulated. But I came up with a system. I found some packaging that I really, really like. I found storage that I really, really like. And the witches have been working on totally redoing the apothecary into something really organized and beautiful. Oh, darling, I'm so sorry. Lung tonic is sold out and it will be until next fall. Yeah. Lo siento. We have detox potion still left. Probably only have like 12 bottles of that left. That won't be back until the winter. But okay, let me show you. Oh, okay, let me show you and you can tell me what you think. Tell me what you guys think. Okay, so look. Check this out. Okay, so we've got these jars and there's a lot of light, so it might be hard to see. Okay, each jar clearly labeled with the name, botanical name, magical and medicinal uses, and any important warnings. Okay, and into these jars, we have been sitting here and weighing out 1/4 ounce packages of your herbs and labeling them with the same information. So when you come to the shop, if you don't know what I'm talking about, previously when you would come to the shop and you would get herbs, I would stand here and weigh them out for you and like package them out for you. And, you know, people would be very nice and be standing here for a while. But like, witches got places to be and I understand that. So I can't have you standing here while I'm like weighing everything you need. So I was like, why don't we take everything that we have in house? We'll make these 1/4 ounce packages. We'll clearly label them with the information in case people need to just go and don't have time to talk about all that stuff. It is right on there and good to go. Isn't that amazing? Isn't it cute? Right? So that, first of all, this smells so good. I love the smell of burdock root. If you've never smelled burdock root, treat yourself. Treat yourself. Okay, but so you guys tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. I have 2 different types of bags, and I will tell you my favorite. Let me just make sure that these are like my prettiest options, so you guys get the full pizzazz. You know. Okay. You guys tell me. Do we want to go with option number 1, which is a flat bag? Okay, it doesn't like open up at the bottom or anything. It's a flat like pouch, totally clear on the front, craft brown paper on the back, label goes on the front. Okay, airtight seal. Okay. Yes, I know Alexis, our resident Virgo witch, is so delighted by this project. All the witches are enjoying it actually, because everybody's like learning more about the herbs and all that stuff. Okay, so that's option 1. Okay, clear, totally clear front, flat pouch, label on the front. Okay, I should have put the weight. Sorry. It's all right. Can't be perfect all the time. I'll work on it for the next round. Okay, and then option number 2 is a stand-up pouch that is only clear in the middle, and it's like a little bit of like a foggy clear. It's not a total clear. Okay, craft brown paper again, label on the back. Okay. This is some blackberry leaf. Okay. Option 1, clear, label on the front, flat pouch. Option number 2, small window, label on the back, stand-up pouch. Let me get stand up somewhere you can see. See that? Stand-up pouch. Okay. Option 1, option 2. Option 1, option 2. Let me know. I'm seeing a few option 1s rolling in. But isn't that packaging, didn't I nail it though? Either way, like I was like, yes, this is what we need to do. I was inspired by another shop that I saw on Instagram. So credits, I can't remember, a Moonlight Sage, something like that, Moonlight and Sage. I was like, yes, why don't I just do these ahead of time? Every time I place an order for herbs, it comes in, the shop witches can sit, we can weigh it all for you, have it ready to go. The inventory on the website will be nice and clear. So that way, when you are shopping online, you know what we have in house before you come, in case you like need a lot and want to know ahead of time, you know, all that good stuff. Okay. Yeah, number 1, right? Number 1s. I'm seeing several number 1s. Okay. I have to agree with you guys. Thank you. I'm so glad we are on the same page. Number 1 is the one that I wanted as well and was planning to order more of. Yeah, so I like that you can see everything. That was, I showed you guys a root, right? Let me show you a leaf. Okay, so these need to be labeled. They're going to get labeled today, but you see here you can see everything in your leaf, you know? So, yeah, okay. Enough about packaging. Okay, but yeah. Isn't that exciting? New packaging. So we're making our way. We're like in the H's. So we're working on that. And they're going to be in time. They're going to be done in time for Chelsea's Intro to Herbalism class. So if you are in the area, our shop apprentice Chelsea is going to be teaching a intro level course on 10 herbs that are available in our ritual herb kit. And she's going to be teaching you a little bit about magic, medicine with all 10 of these herbs. You're going to get to experience them, maybe make some things, and get some goodies to take home with you and all of that good stuff. So if you're interested in herbs, come by for the class. Johnny, you know, number 2, thank you for not being afraid to say, you know what, even though all these people were talking about number 1, I'm going to shout out number 2. Thank you for standing on your views and not being swayed by the group. Okay, I see the beauty in number 2 as well. The stand-up thing is really useful. Like potentially, you know, if you want, if like that's a storage kind of option for you. But yeah, like who said it? Lovely. It's just so clear. Number 1, the crystal clear, totally clear front is just, it's dope. It's nice to see your herbs like that. Julissa, what's up, baby? Number 2 is where it's at. You're holding down number 2 as well. Okay. You know what though? Could you be a little bit biased because you are used to that style? That's the original style of bag that we had. They were just large and black, but they were craft bags with like just a window. You can store them easier that way. Cambria, I know every time someone asks, I mention a class at the shop, someone asks me if these are online classes. At the moment, no. At the moment, no. We are very focused on bringing spiritual products and services and classes and events to the community of the South Bronx. So, in deciding where to like put all of our energy and resources, we really have to focus them where they're going to serve our purpose the best. So yeah, we're really focusing on our in-person classes and offerings right now. But I do understand that people want to be able to partake into these classes if they're not, local. So I do imagine that in the future we'll have that option. As we grow and we have more resources that we can allocate to, setting up the infrastructure necessary for like providing an online class. I like the idea of like an online class portal on the website where you can take classes taught by the shop witches. But that is something that will be available when we grow. You know what I'm saying? For now, we got to make sure we'll always be focused on the goal, on the purpose, but when you have more resources, you can expand your reach, expand that purpose. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for the question and the interest in taking our classes. They stand up better, easier to store. Okay. Gosh, you make an excellent point, Jalissa. It's like aesthetic over function. I don't know. I'm kind of stepping into like my bad witch era, and I just want things to like be cute. Okay. Can I just keep it real? I just think they're really pretty, and it makes the shop look really like sophisticated. Can I just be real? You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be like really fly with the shop. You know what I'm saying? We're leveling up every day, and I'm like, I feel like I did why also? I did the craft brown for so long. That was what my teas came in originally. That's what my smoke blends came in originally. I was rocking the full craft brown stand-up bag for I think I did it to myself too long. And I'm just ready for a new look. Maybe I can keep a stash of the craft browns just for you, my love. I'll have to try to do that. Yeah, it's lovely. I got you. No, listen, every class I post about, the first thing someone says is this available online? So I do understand that there is a demand and an interest. And I do love the idea of having classes being available and like readily accessible for you guys. But I think that, well, first of all, I think I'd want to do it through the website, and all of that good stuff. YouTube likes to take its chunks. And make it something you can like access all the time and all that good stuff. But like, yeah, even that time I just spent right there trying to figure out like, how to do it for an online audience. That's time being taken away from trying to make sure that we deliver something here and that we figure out how to get the people who live here to know that we have this. Because you guys know about this space. You guys, someone here is from Australia. You're on the other side of the world and you probably know more about this shop than people who live a block away. There are people who live a block away who have no idea that we exist, honestly. So helping to get the word out in the community that we exist is really going to grow us and help. So for those of you who do want to see us have online classes and be able to participate in shop stuff, even if you're not near here, I would say one of the best things that you can do to support us is to spread the word and repost about us, share about us. Don't assume that the people that you know don't know about us or not interested. Don't come to New York. You don't know. Everybody knows somebody who will be coming through New York at some point in their lives. You know what I mean? So spread the word and let people know that we exist. And that's going to really help us get to the point where we can offer online things, more online things. Yes, the lovely community. I could sell in burlap sacks. Yes, okay. Oh my gosh, if you left me for my packaging, I'd be devastated. If you did, I would create your own packaging. I would not be willing to lose you, and I would be willing to like have special packaging. I just have like a shelf for you because like I need you. Yeah. Thank you, Betty. I'm working on it. This branding thing is ay. And it's like it's not even about like the branding for me. It's just like about the purpose because I feel like I'm freaking horrified. Can you like I'm blinking twice. I'm horrified. This whole process is the scariest thing I've ever this moment in my life is the scariest moment in my life. No lie. Um it's really, really horrifying. So the only thing I have to cling on to is this purpose that I feel that spirit has revealed to me. And I feel like if I stay on that, no matter how scared I am, I'm like, that's the plank. Like you're walking out on the plank and you're like crossing a bridge, walking on a board, from one side to the other, and you're horrified. The only thing you can think of, you cannot let yourself think about anything else aside from step on the board, step on the board, step on the board. You cannot get distracted by anything because then fear will completely overtake you and you'll be gone. And so I'm on the board and I just keep bringing myself to you're on the board, you're on the board, you're on the board. And everything that I do, I run through the lens of like, what's the focus? And the focus is bringing spiritual and magical books, products, services, events to the South Bronx, building a space where a witchy community can grow from. That's the board. So I have to ask myself, like, okay, trying to figure out how to turn our classes that people who live 2 blocks away still don't know about into online classes, going to help us reach those people who are 2 blocks away? And the answer is not yet. Yes. So anyway, that was a long ass answer. Sorry, Cambria, you asked a very simple question. Yes. Please come through. And that's really important. There is a ways to support page on the website with lots of different ways that you can support no matter where you are. Not all of them require money or anything like that, travel or anything like that. There are a lot of really very simple ways that have an impact on us that's huger than you could probably ever imagine if you haven't been in a similar circumstance. So I appreciate it all, and it's all really, really huge. Um, there's HQ merch in the merch shop, by the way. This is Coven merch, but there's HQ merch in the merch shop, and there's a new BronxWitch design in the merch shop. I don't know if I mentioned that. I think I made it live. If I didn't make it live, it'll be live soon. But there's a new design in the merch shop. Just says BronxWitch. It's kind of dope. So yeah, I want to get myself some merch, but that's another way to support. So, and all of it is mad love. I am going to get into the reading, Betty. I'm sorry. Just because I know me, and that's going to take me all the way down a wormhole because it's like, what are the hives being caused by? What are we trying to address? But if you have some time today, I am here in the shop, and you can book a phone consultation through the website. They're totally free. They're 15 minutes, and we can chat on the phone, and then I can actually talk you through it. But I'm going to get into the reading, okay? You should totally book a phone consultation. We've never talked on the phone. That would be fun. And you should be able to book me today. Okay. Yes. All right, so let's get into the reading. I'm going to take a moment to center myself. I should probably open my journal just so that I don't lose track of the signs, because that could happen. And if you are in the room and you are still connected and present and with me, drop your signs down in the comments and let me know. That's very true. That is very true. You did literally come moments after surgery. So I know it's real. Drop your sun, moon, risings down in the comments. I'm going to be pulling for the zodiac sign. I usually start with Aries. All right. No pressure to join me. I like to take a moment to say a prayer to give honor and thanks to my guides, guardians, gods, angels, ancestors, and spirits for being with me, for helping me to do this work and deliver these messages, for the spirits of all of those who decided to show up today or watch this on a replay. No matter when they watch it or where they watch it, let the message resonate deeply and provide guidance and clarity, as I will. So mote it be. So when you receive this message, just to kind of recap this whole Leo full moon and how it will impact you, it's a good idea to get your birth chart, get them free on any website. And you're looking for 16 degrees of Leo and see what house lines up with 16 degrees of Leo, and that will give you even deeper insight as to where these messages and where this Leo full moon energy is most likely to be showing up in your life. You can take these messages for your sun, moon, or rising sign. I personally, when I listen to zodiac readings, I take all three and combine the message. So you might do that. And I'm going to pull an oracle card first for the collective, and then pull cards for each of the signs. If any of these messages resonate with you, then you can leave a super chat. If you're watching this on a replay, you can leave a super thanks. And the live, let me put a little QR code. Isn't that cool? So I put a QR code up in the corner. I don't know if it's going to let you like click on it or you have to scan it. I don't even really know how it works. But it should take you to the donation page on bronxwitch.com. If it doesn't, you can always go there, bronxwitch.com, and go to the ways to support page and help us to get the posters printed for the A-frame sign that is on its way. Okay. The collective full moon energy, this full moon in Leo energy, is enchantment. That is the energy. Very first thing that came through is quite a bit of magic and spell work is going on right now. So sort of a cheat card, I feel like, because this is probably a room full of witches. But for whatever reason, a lot of you are feeling really motivated to get into your magical bags with this full moon, do some casting, do something that's actually connected to nature. You might be taking advantage of like what's going on in your natural environment, what's happening with weather. This is the full snow moon. So if it's snowing in your area, you might have been thinking about taking snow and making a spiritual bath from it, or doing some type of ice working. For those of you who are experiencing not normal, like warm winters, working with the rains, working with the winds and the storms is like really, really, really prevalent. All of the planets were direct at the end of January, and this is like forward moving motion on plans to like really cast and change and do things. I'm also being drawn to the siren's voice. So it's like with this retrograde, the Mercury retrograde that lifted, using your voice is becoming a lot more important, and a lot I don't know if I want to say easier, but like you're ready to do it. The siren song is very intoxicating. It has significant influence. It's able to lure people to their deaths, in some folklore. For others, it's like a love song, but it's totally mesmerizing and captivating. And it feels like the collective energy. And this makes a lot of sense to me personally for Leo, because we get a lot of flack for like being conceited and vain and stuff like that. But like, listen, you guys don't get it. The thing is this, it's not that we're like vain and conceited for like no reason. Okay. Like maybe we're vain and conceited a little bit, but also we're like pretty phenomenal. Okay. Whenever I think about Leo energy, and obviously totally biased here, but I just cannot help but think of the lion and all of the regalness and all of the power and the beauty, and at the same time all of the like smarts and cunning, and then the love and gentleness and cuddliness, and like, I mean, Leo's just an energy that's got it all and really likes to shine and is really captivating. And it's like, it feels like maybe with those planets in retrograde, it was a time to not really focus on that so much. But now that that's lifted, it's like, yes, it is my time to absolutely dazzle and enchant, and mesmerize and influence, and look at me and listen to me, and like, fall under my spell. I'm about to get it popping. It also feels really related to your physical. So I think if folks, maybe weren't focusing so much on like your diets or things like that at the beginning of the year, you might be revving that up now. If you did get started with like a detox or something at the beginning of the year, then you may actually be starting to see your rewards from that. So if you did a detox at the beginning of the year, you set resolutions to lose some weight or something, you're starting to see some rewards. If you didn't do it at the beginning of the year, maybe you were still feeling very like in your shell, winter, padding, let me cuddle up in my blankets and eat my Cheetos kind of energy. It feels like this moon is really pushing you out of that, and motivating you to maybe take your physical goals a little more seriously, start showing up in the world looking the way you want to. As enchanting as you really are, darling. Yes, enchantment. Yes, enchantment. That's the collective energy. Oh, I'm going to move some stuff. Put my card box over here. I like to keep the oracle message present in our minds as we go through everybody's things. And then what I was doing the last couple of weeks was, let me see if I can make this like stay. I don't want it to fall. What I was doing the last couple of weeks was I was just kind of like pulling out a few decks and then letting myself be led to whichever deck felt like it wanted to work for each sign. So I think I'm going to keep doing that. Yes, I'm conceited. I got a reason. I mean, I just feel like, we make it really bad to big up yourself, and that's not good. that programming sucks. You know what I mean? Like, we will absolutely worship and bow down and like kiss the ground that some celebrity, another human being that we've never met, who probably doesn't mean us harm, but also probably doesn't give two fucks about us. We will just like worship the ground that they walk on, but then feel awkward about doing that for ourselves, and I'm trying to like get out of that and look at myself and be like, hey, absolutely, I'm a flawed human being. There's a whole bunch of things about me that I'm working on, that I want to work on. There's also a lot of things about me that are just fucking phenomenal. And if no one's going to say it, then I should. And you should as well. Big full moon in Leo energy. Yes. Yes, PSA, period. If I blind you with my light, get some shades. Get some shades, witch. Handle up on those at the Walgreens. You don't have to break the bank, but I'm not going to dim my light for you. That is very big in this energy right now. And so a lot of us are going to be making shifts and changes and how we see ourselves, how we express ourselves, how we show up. And that enchantment's going to be a big part of it because there's going to be witchcraft involved. But y'all knew that because y'all brujas and all that up in here. So slightly skewed room. I don't know that all of the collective of the world is going to be working magic in order to fully embrace this energy. Probably not, but you guys are. But everybody will be feeling that energy. There'll be a lot of big Leo, boisterous energy. Yes, very personal to you. Yes, the lovely. I don't know all of the details. Julissa probably can answer this better than I can. But yes, I think if you don't know the exact time of your birth, you won't be able to get the house lineup. You'll be able to see your placements, meaning what sign each planet is in at the moment of your, or in the timing of your birth, general timing. But I think if you don't have the exact hour and minute, then you can't find the houses accurately. One thing that you can do to help is to just try to get as close as you can. So if you have some idea, maybe there's a rumor, somebody talked about you being born in the nighttime, in the middle of the night, or early in the morning. If it's early in the morning, just go to 6 o'clock. If somebody says you were born in the middle of the day, noon or 3 p.m., and that will at least get you something close. And you can read your chart and see if it resonates and feels like it makes sense. And if it doesn't, then, maybe adjust to it. Yeah, I think the times affects the houses. Yeah. And so the helpful thing about the houses in terms of the question of how will the full moon in Leo and 16 degrees of Leo impact you is that where 16 degrees of Leo lies in your house will line up with a house. And that house corresponds with an area of your life. So it will help to narrow that down for you. But you may not need that narrowing. You know what I mean? Like 16 degrees of Leo happens to be falling in my 10th house, which is a house of like career and professionalism and work growth and stuff like that. So that was helpful for me to know that these big change energy, this, big Leo energy is going to be taking place in that area of my life. That was helpful to know, but like I would have known that. I could have guessed that, Linda talking about you can get your records. It requires unsealing through the courts. Can you imagine you're like a court employee, somebody comes in and is like, you must unseal my records. I must know my birth chart. Oh my gosh, crazy witches. I don't know my houses. I'm like, huh? All right, let's get into it. I think I'm going to start at the top with Aries, and I am pulling cards for each of the signs for this full moon in Leo, this full snow moon in Leo happening tomorrow, Sunday, January 5th at 1:28 p.m. Eastern. 16 degrees of Leo, it's happening. That's what the interpeoples have told me, the astrologer peoples. And I feel drawn to this deck that I've been picking up a lot more lately, this Illuminated Tarot. Someone actually donated this very deck to the used decks at the shop. So this actually is available here for a low, low price if you like it. Illuminated Tarot, Aries. What is your full moon in Leo message? What is this enchantment all about? Okay, we have the 6 of Spades here in the Illuminated Tarot deck, Aries. So very much a contemplation about changing our environment, just packing up I just heard, pack what you need and go, let's go, hit the road, Jack. So definitely really big contemplations right now about hitting the road and getting out of here, taking what you've learned and licking your wounds and just moving on. where exactly may not be entirely clear. The full moon, though, is coming in to bring you some clarity. So if you are wondering where your next step is or where it is you need to be pointing your boat, what direction you need to be pointing in to go ahead with this move, I would definitely use this full moon energy to help illuminate that for you. Definitely check out what house this is happening in, but you probably already know, as I'm saying this, what area of your life it is that you've been contemplating to pack up your shit and go. And so when it comes to that, if you feel like you need clarity about where it is you're supposed to go to, use this full moon to help guide you through that and provide you with some clarity. You might take a spiritual bath. You might do some type of divination involving water, like scrying into a water bowl, or even tea leaf reading, but something that involves water to help you gain further insight about where it is you are going. In some ways, it feels like it doesn't really even matter. The point is to get on the boat and go ahead and push off from shore, and get going. And I mentioned briefly the Uranus transit, that apparently is square with this moon or the sun in Aquarius or whatever. But it may your big moon Leo energy might be particularly rebellious and abrupt. So people might not be expecting this. You, in some way, may not even be fully expecting to just go. But if you don't get that clarity that you feel like you need about where your final destination is, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. Um, you can't always control. Sometimes you just got to go. Okay, Aries, that is your full snow moon in Leo message. Pack all your things and go hit the road. Taurus, jumping over to the Miss Cleo deck. Hey, Taurus. I feel like Miss Cleo comes forward for the spicy messages, but I may not be biased. Full snow moon. Or not biased, like assumptive. Full snow moon. And Leo message for Taurus. What's this enchantment about, Taurus? Taurus. Okay, so we have the devil, my dear. A few things came through here because it's sort of like, with the bull reference, it feels very like comfortable in some ways for Taurus to kind of be in this energy. What other people would call vices or decadence or indulgence for Taurus is really kind of normal, right? Like if a human person or some other type of animal like ate as much like grass and hay or whatever as a cow ate in a day, it would be like obscene. But for a cow, it's just a normal existence. So Taurus lives a lot more heavily in that energy of indulgence and comfort and pleasures, satisfying your physical pleasures in particular, eating good food, sleeping in comfy places, getting physically pleased and rubbed on and like laying in the shade. So Taurus energy really likes those things, and it's not necessarily as not that Taurus is like immune to addictions or anything like that, but I do feel like Taurus energy is able to indulge in things because it's naturally indulgent, and because it's its natural state, that doesn't interfere in its ability to like function and live a normal life. But that also can maybe sometimes mean that being functional in your addictions is a problem, because it's kind of normal for you to be indulgent in intoxicants and pleasures and things that satisfy the body and all of that. You tend to do it and incorporate it into your everyday life, and it may be harming you in ways that you're not necessarily paying a lot of attention to. So for you, Taurus, this big change, this illumination of clarity has to do with some of these behaviors that you have. This does feel associated with like physical things like eating or drug use or drinking, things like that. For some of you, it's going to be work related. It feels like some of you, Taurus, really either are like very comfortable in your work, or you might even do sex work. Some of your work might be related to pleasures. And there are some good things about that. You might feel like that's a really good fit for you professionally because, it feels natural for you to make a living from pleasing yourself or being pleased and things like that. But there may be some underlying not so great consequences that you want to pay attention to, and that this full moon in Leo might kind of bring to the surface and ask you to consider as you express yourself. Okay. On the converse, some Tauruses might be exploring things like sex work, or even just doing like a boudoir photo shoot or things like that, where you express yourself. Maybe coming out as an advocate for cannabis or something, things like that, where you are expressing yourself as in alignment with these things that other people might find to be like vices, but that you are kind of able to be functioning with. Caffeine and nicotine. Yes. Yeah. So it'll be like, kind of normal for you to be just like pleased physically, but like, how are these things actually impacting you? Even though you can function with them and maybe they don't necessarily seem to harm you the way that they are harming other people, what work needs to be done around that? Moon is a good time for like sending things off. All right. Gemini, I feel like we're still here in the Miss Cleo deck. Gemini. Full snow moon, a message for Gemini. Gemini, 8 of Swords. So speaking of releasing, you might be doing some type of releasing work, some cord cutting work, maybe some banishing work, but it feels maybe more like personal release and freedom work. Your enchantment might be around some type of head working on yourself, even, because it feels very much like you may be mentally tied to some ideas that are making you feel stuck or making you feel trapped, making you feel like you can't move forward. You're very in your head about this situation, and it feels like this full moon energy is something that you could use to free yourself, but it's not going to happen automatically. It's not like the moon's going to come down and just be like, you are released. You can make the decision if you want to channel this energy. There's something called the drawing down the moon ritual. I have a video about it on this channel. You can check it out, or just Google it. It's a fairly straightforward ritual. You can do, make it your own. But the idea is to really call in that lunar energy, whatever sign the moon is in, call on those properties, and bring them down into this earth plane using a vessel of water, and then bringing that water to yourself, whether internally or externally or what have you, and allowing that energy to become a part of your own. And it's kind of like taking that energy for yourself so that you can live in that vibration. And so full moon Leo vibration is about self-expression, being okay with changing who you are, changing how you show up in the world, exerting your will. If you want to be free, being free, stepping into that fully. And you can pull that energy in your life to help you kind of have like that Hulk moment of being like, I throw off the bondage and I break apart the swords and I am free. So that stuck feeling that you have, the full moon can absolutely help you to break free of that. So I would use this energy and I would do something like a spiritual bath for sure would be a great idea, a cleansing bath. But you might need something a little harder, so some type of a cord cutting might be necessary. And this would be a good time to do that with the moon illuminating and making the issue more clear. Sometimes when we do cord cuttings, the question isn't how or even why. Sometimes the question is from what. Because I've done cord cuttings where I've cut the cord to not quite the right thing. So identifying what it is that you are truly attached to. Like you might think you're attached to a person, and in reality, you're attached to maybe like the things they buy you. And so what you need to be cutting the cord from is not from the person, but from your attachment to these physical things, or your codependency, or your materialism, or whatever it is that's at the root of that desire for that thing or that attachment to that thing. Cancer is still in the misfield there. Okay. Oh, wait, maybe not. Nope. Cancer, we're in the True Heart deck. I'm going to pull a card from both decks. I don't know if I've ever done that. Not like this. That's random, but that is what I'm being told. Cancer. Full moon message for Cancer. I know. Not the same card, but do you see this dichotomy here that I see? We have the King of Cups in the reverse. We have the Four of Coins in the reverse. Okay, so there's elements here from both of these like messages that need to come together to form the picture of the one thing that's going on here. I almost feel like that. I wonder if this is like too obvious, but I almost feel like this is like indicating an actual individual. So I don't know the likelihood that all cancers are like I don't know, dealing with a similar individual, but it's Cancer moon or sun, moon or rising. So for those of you in that sign, it feels like there's a particular like not problem, but like maybe conflict with an individual that needs to be handled from like a magical perspective. This individual seems very kind of authoritarian, like old school tax collector type of thing, Roman, robe type of thing. But this is like an individual in your life, or a situation in your life that's like the man. Is how it feels like. Like it's like the man is keeping me down. So it feels like there's some like almost systemic issues that you are dealing with, where you feel like the man is coming down on you. So you might be having some financial troubles with like the IRS or the government, taxes, not getting owed compensation, workers' comp type of thing. You're not being supported and provided for. So if this is more of like a family person, like a parent, maybe a father who's not maybe paying child support or not carrying their fair share or something like that. So Cancer, you have kind of like a specific type of scenario playing out that for each of you is going to be different in terms of the details. But there seems to be like an overbearing presence that would benefit from enchantment. So if you've been asking yourself the question whether or not you should try to work magic in order to alleviate this situation, send this person away from you, or somehow like free up their control over your finances or over your emotional state, your physical space even, it feels very binding, very like controlling is the word. So if you've been thinking about using magic to free yourself from this, I think this would be an indication that that would be a good idea because it is very oppressive. And it's kind of like, why not give it a shot? So even if you feel like, oh, I'm not the most experienced witch, or like I'm just learning this, I would say go ahead and give it a shot because it's one of those things where it's like worst case scenario is you're just in the shitty situation that you're in right now. So go for it. You know, you might actually be able to free yourself from this. The full moon in Leo is great energy to channel if you are trying to assert yourself. I will, remember, is the motto of Leo. So if you're trying to get out from under somebody, take your power back from somebody or a situation, then full moon Leo energy to me would be a great energy to do it under. And like I said, that transit with Uranus, I keep hearing that rebellious element. So it might be kind of rebellious. It does feel like it might be parental for a lot of folks. Rage against the machine. Don't let them keep you down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but like listen to your parents. But you know what I mean. All right, Leo. Leo wants to stay in the Cleo deck. Leo in the Cleo. Blockbuster, yes. Some that, oh my gosh, yes. Crazy run around, yeah. Holding the coins, holding on to you, trying to keep you around. Doesn't want you to leave or look elsewhere. So, but not necessarily just making a firm commitment. Yes, that would definitely be blockbuster type of work. Take your power back type of work. Domination type of work. If for those of you who might be in a similar situation as June and maybe want to have a stronger power of negotiation, I'm feeling master root coming through. No, I don't have any, but don't worry, I will soon. All right, Leo. Mighty Leo. Okay, Leo. All right, Leo, we have the 8 of Cups here. The clarity for you, Leo, with this full moon in Leo is like epic. Very, very epic. This is beyond the brightness of the moon. This is the full power of the sun. Really. It really truly is. There is an intense clarity that is coming with this full moon for you, Leo, that is giving you a really beautiful view of where you stand and who you are and how you want to express yourself both in your personal self and also in your like interpersonal relationships with other people and your communities. It's like enough to make you need to sit down for a second and take a moment. It's so interesting that this character here is holding these two, I'm not even sure what they are. They might be like fans, I guess, or something like that. But this morning I was actually receiving a download from or about Hecate and her relationship to Helios and the sun. And in that download, I was thinking about how Hecate has her 2 torches that she uses to guide the way for us, to illuminate the darkness, and also to burn away those cords of attachment so that we can be free. And in my own magical working, kind of like how she goes about doing that was like revealed to me. This was some months ago. But basically, the message that I got was that, Hecate has these torches, but the sun is a origin of the fire that's in those torches, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And I literally see 3 rings. But the sun is that. And so the solar energy is something that ties into the illumination and the clarity that we want. So Leo, for you, I think it would be really important during this full moon to actually really focus in on the sun being in Aquarius. Call in that energy. You don't really need to call in the Leo energy of the moon. You inhabit this energy. You feel this energy, especially if you already are a Leo moon. You already really, you feel it. You very much feel it. You feel it all the time, but you very much feel it right now. What would be really helpful for you would be to have a little bit more insight, if this moment hasn't already happened for you, to channel in the sun's energy, because the sun right now is in Aquarius, and Aquarius energy is very out of the box, out of the box, willing to really see things in a way that it's never seen things before, willing to really be like, let's do this totally differently. Like, this doesn't have to be anything like anything that's been done before. I don't have to be like anything that I ever was before. I can be totally different. I can start something totally different. So I think you would benefit really from calling in actually the sun's Aquarian energy during this full moon weekend and working with that, and maybe doing some divination or some trance work, or some dream work, for sure, doing some dream work, to really, like, let that Aquarius energy just blow your mind wide open with possibilities and visions of options. Eight also relates to the strong, fiery, divine feminine of the strength card, for sure, and all of the other eights. Okay, Virgo. Shout out to the Virgos. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody, but just shout out to the Virgos. I really be needing y'all. Virgo, what is your full moon in Leo message? Virgo. All right. We have the 7 of Clubs. Very big Chariot energy here. Okay, so we're all up in your home right now, Virgo. Issues around your home? Not issues. This doesn't feel like issues. This really feels more like just details, details around your home that could benefit from your attention and from a little bit more like enchantment, literally. It feels like some of you are maybe not in the most magical of spaces and you would like to move and like to voyage into magical spaces. For others of you, this is like just trying to bring more magic into your space. You might be trying to figure out where to set up an altar, or you might really want to have like a really nice organized witchy room or reading room or something like that, and you might be in the process of putting that together or trying to figure out how that is going to come to be. There's definitely going to be forward progress around that during this full moon for you, so that will probably be very exciting for you and allow you to like kind of do some organizing and things that you like, tidying up, making things look the way that you want to. You might also have some choices to make about where you go exactly. Try not to be overly critical, Virgo, okay? Try not to be overly critical about it, all right? Otherwise, you will just stand still and not move forward. Let yourself just be guided. It really feels like wherever you end up whether you change your location, improve the one that you're in, etc., wherever you end up settling is going to actually be great. You're going to make it great. It's going to be just fine. So don't spend so much time trying to overanalyze what's the best option or where the best place to go is. Let yourself just go with it, because it's six of one, half dozen of the other. Your options are very similar, So enjoy, explore, let yourself have fun with the whole like planning process. Okay. This strongly resonates. Message received. Yay! All right, Libra. We are jumping into the True Heart deck. Doesn't surprise me. Analyzation, stagnation, guilty. Yeah, we all can be. I know that can be a very, a bigger issue for Virgo for sure. Okay, Libra. Libra, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse right now, my dear. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay. All right. So what's coming through here is that, first of all, the areas of your life where this full moon Leo energy, this big change, this big I will, this big express myself thing, this is a very big energy. I feel like we've been pulling a lot of minor arcana cards up until now in this particular set of readings. And this major arcana card is like really making itself known. It's really like, hey, this is a big shift in your life. So this is the next couple of weeks, really maybe see you really coming out of your shell in a really big way. And it might not be the most comfortable process. It feels like it may have already started, and so you're feeling like you're in a really low point in your life. Like literally in your life, like not just in a particular area, but just like in your life. It feels like, okay, like I'm on the downturn. And this full moon for you would be helpful with trying to shift or change the energy. So if you are thinking about doing spell work or anything, what you want to do is try to turn the energy around. That's really the big issue here for you, Libra. Things in your life. So I have this tattoo on my collarbone. Oh, thank you. Oh, look at y'all back to back. Okay, thank you, Cambria. Thank you, Jeanette. Video game controller, hobbies along and happily with a broken arm. Okay, thank you guys so much. Yes, to printing the sign. Thank you. Getting there. I appreciate you guys. I have a tattoo on my collarbone. It's not an original thought. I think it comes from a Buddhist saying, but it says pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. And that's really coming through as kind of the core of this message here. I don't want to dismiss anything that you're going through, Libra, and act like these things are not real and that they are not really shitty. But one of the things that makes human suffering exist, and I know I probably sound like so like, who the fuck am I to say this? But like, it's not that I like live this all the time. It's just that I repeat this to myself all the time and try to remember this. That the root of human suffering doesn't really come from the thing that's happening. It comes from believing that that thing shouldn't be happening to you. If you can shift your mindset out of believing that whatever is happening shouldn't be happening to you, and instead tell yourself that it should be happening and you just need to figure out why. What is the lesson? What is the challenge to overcome? What is the blessing hidden in the dirt? What is the reason? Why are you going through this? As opposed to feeling like I'm not supposed to and then being miserable about it. Shitty things in life are going to happen. Pain is always going to happen. It is up to you whether or not you look at that pain as something to suffer and struggle through, or as simply something that happens in life and to be acknowledged and taken from like any other experience. So that's what you're being called on to do here, is to see that the things that are happening in your life are shitty. They do cause pain. They are not fair. All of those things are true, but that you also get to decide that literally you can, in this very moment, decide that they will not cause you misery anymore. So if you're looking for spell work to do for the full moon, some type of change the energy, shift the energy, return to sender, if you like are 100% absolutely sure that I'm actually really not an advocate for return to senders. I'll go down a whole wormhole and stuff. I prefer to transmute energy. This might be TMI, but if somebody is sending something negative to you, like the whole fire thing, I think is silly. If someone's sending fire to me or like sending some, I don't want to send it back with the same thing. Like to me, that doesn't, I want to neutralize or shift what is being sent my way. So if an actual practitioner does something against me, doesn't happen as much as you think, guys, you're probably not cursed. But if it were to happen, someone sends a hex or whatever your way, I prefer to take that energy and transmute it. Take that energy and make it work for you. Take that energy and turn what was supposed to be a curse into a blessing, as opposed to sending that energy back to the practitioner to continue to send back, or, whatever. I prefer to do that kind of a thing. So transmute the energy, shift the energy, the negative energy that you are feeling around the events that are happening. You can choose to shift the energy, and that might not change the events, but it can change how you feel about the events. And you can use the full moon in Leo and the intense illumination and clarity that the full moon brings to help give you a better idea of how these not so great seeming circumstances might actually be to your benefit, or might be something that you can work with. Yeah, that's a very good point, Missy. That is a very good point. I do think witches who have been doing this for some time realize that um, you don't, it's kind of like being like the big kid on the playground. Like if you are a big kid in the playground, like it's not nice to beat up the little kid in the playground, even if like they come over and like hit you or something. You know what I'm saying? You know how like big dogs with little dogs will let little dogs like jump all over them and bite their ears and do all types of annoying shit, and the big dog could totally destroy them, but doesn't, because it knows that if it snaps at them or it knocks them down, it's going to do so much more harm to the little dog than the little dog can do to it. So it kind of just rocks with it. You know what I mean? It's like that. Some witches are big dogs, and they know that a little hit from them might kind of just be unfair and might really just be more than is even necessary. So sometimes you just like, you take that and you transmute it. You make the best of it. You use it to your benefit. Okay? Little magical ethics. Always have to wield a heavy hand magically. It doesn't always benefit you. All right, Scorpio. And see, this is why I open up the shop before I come to the readings, because even though it means that I am behind my schedule in terms of getting into the live, we can go until the shop opens. The coffee is made, the lights are on, the register's open, we are ready to rock. People's pickup orders are packed, ready to go. You ready to rock? Leslie will be here shortly for her shift. Come get a reading today. Woof woof, right. Some witches are big dogs. All right, Scorpio, you are in the True Heart deck. Eight of Cups, Scorpio. This imagery is rather you, Scorpio, because you do have such a sort of secretive, kind of protective element. Whenever I think of Scorpio energy, I think of being dressed head to toe in black, kind of Morticia Adams, mysterious type of a vibe, which means that maybe it's 50-50. I'm trying to pick up on whether or not most of you feel like you've been introverted and covered up and secretive, or if that's just like how you need to be or just how you know how to operate. But whatever you are dealing with, Scorpio, walking away from a disappointing situation seems like the most beneficial of options right now. It doesn't seem like there isn't very much that can be done. So walking away is necessary. And this full moon in Leo energy is perhaps bolstering your resolve a little bit to say, I will walk away from this. I will accept that this is not playing out the way that I had hoped. I will embark on a new road that is taking me somewhere, to which I may not be super, super sure. Definitely lots of night vibes for you, Scorpio. So I feel like being up late at night for the next couple of days is definitely going to be happening. And you might want to try to use that time as best you can. The full moon is happening in the middle of the day on Sunday, which means if you want to see it, your best bet is going to be to try to see it tonight or even tomorrow night, because you probably won't be able to see it so clearly during the day. Though interesting how this card looks like the moon is out and it's like daytime at the same time. So whatever type of stargazing or like opportunity to actually see, you guys, I am so blessed. I'm so grateful. My bedroom window I have two bedroom windows. One faces the south, one faces the west. Fantastic for growing plants. And the moon, and for sunsets, and the moon happens to literally just pass right over my building, and it adjusts a little bit for the time of the year, but I basically get to see the full moon very clearly from my bathroom window, from my bedroom window. Very grateful for it. Last night, as I said, I was up really late, of course, and I finally turned off the lights, and through the crack in the curtains, Mother Moon is just beaming straight into the apartment. And what's funny is if I had gone to bed any sooner, I would have missed that because she had just come over the building so that she was shining into the window. Yeah, that moment just came back to me with this vibe for you, Scorpio. Lots of nighttime activity you would really benefit from. So if you feel the need to stay up late, it's the weekend. Hopefully you don't have to work or get up early or whatever. Take advantage of that and be able to stay up late. Try to spend some time under the moon, with the moon, doing a drawing down the moon ritual, making moon water, or in some other ways, just connecting to what is going on astrologically to help you to navigate through this. You might feel like you need further clarification. You might, whatever it is that you feel like you need to do with this energy, I would do it just to help strengthen you as you walk away. You are walking away, but you might feel like you're walking away on jelly knees and you're walking away devastated and you're trying to like keep your cool. Use this full moon to help you walk away stronger, make it a little easier. Hey, Johnny, thank you so much. May everything you give to me come back to you 3 times 3. And I like that Restream actually writes out your character. So it says lemon character waving goodbye while winking and sending a shooting star. I receive it. I receive it. Okay, Sagittarius, you are in the Miss Cleo deck. Hello, Sagittarius. No, I do need to move it. We are like about to be like open. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, your full snow moon message. Sagittarius, we have the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So the mother wound, I guess we'll call it, is something that might be coming up for you right now, or that could use attention, I guess. For some of you, this is related to your relationships with your mothers. For others of you, this might be how you show up in the world as a mother, how you portray yourself. You might be feeling like you want to make a really big change in how you show up. You might be trying different parenting techniques. Your kids might be getting older and you feel like you want to step out now into a different state of being. Now that your kids maybe aren't as dependent on you, things of that nature. Obviously, for all of you, it'll be different, but there's definitely a heavy kind of mom energy here, and there's like a shifting in that relationship, or a shifting in your viewpoint of that relationship. For some of you, it really feels like you have not so positive views of your mom. I literally just keep hearing like black magic. Like some of you may have been, I don't know, you might be like opposed to your parents' spiritual past. They may have been involved with things that make you uncomfortable religiously. It might feel cultish, or it might feel just like really oppressive and like coming from a negative and hurtful place instead of a positive place. And that really has impacted you as an adult. It may have led you to pursuing spirituality over religion or things of that nature. But that type of overbearing influence in your life is something that might be coming up for you right now. The moon being full in Leo is an energy that can be used, or might be kind of pushing you to say, like, I am going to establish my own self. I'm going to get out from under this trauma, or out of this pressure, or out of this previous view of myself, and really evolve. So like I said, you're either evolving yourself as a mother, whatever that means, mother figure, or you might be addressing the relationship that you had with your mother. They may not be around for this. You might also be doing just some internal healing on your own related to your childhood experiences, and parents, mothers, aunties, grandmas, maybe having not such great influence over your like spiritual life, your magical life, your religious life, etc. Healing the mother wound, Sagittarius, is something you might want to focus on. And you can use your voice. I just heard. You can use your voice. Capricorn. Capricorn, we're in the True Heart deck. Capricorn, we're in the True Heart deck. If you're just coming in the room, we are doing Zodiac readings for the full snow moon in Leo, happening tomorrow, February 5th at 1:28 p.m. Eastern. Sun, moon, or rising signs. If these messages resonate with you, then you can leave a super chat, a super thanks. You can scan the QR code to leave a donation on the website. We are raising funds for the posters for an outdoor sign for our shop here in the South Bronx. And I'm so grateful. Yeah. Okay. Capricorn. Hey, Lynn. Thank you so much. Fan character wearing heart-shaped sunglasses. Yeah. Thank you, guys. So we have the Three of Wands in the reverse for the Capricorns. Okay. So Capricorns, you might be like needing to sit still for a little bit. Let's sit still for a little bit. The Three of Wands feels like, it usually wants to come up when it's time for us to start thinking about embarking on new journeys, starting things over. And, the full moon obviously is a time where people really start about those changes. But for you, this feels, very different. This feels like you would really benefit more from like kind of staying still for the moment and maybe through this full moon phase. Why? Okay, so finances are the deal. That's big for you, Capricorn. You like to have your coin. You want to have your coin, and so whatever it is you are contemplating in terms of like change, move, trying new environments is very much related to your finances. Not super surprising, Capricorn, because you don't really do much that isn't related to your bag. But this is definitely related to that. So whether it be your career or how you make money, save money, invest money, etc. You have some maybe ideas that maybe just could use a little bit more time percolating before it's time for you to actually make moves with it. So for you, this full moon might be something that you use to maybe just rest, forecast, maybe do some light planning, but it really doesn't feel like there's a lot that you're supposed to be doing here. This is sort of more like a sit still, wait things out for the particular moment. There are messages that you will receive in this time, guidance that you will receive in this time. And it really feels like you're kind of more on like a spiritual journey at the moment, doing some deeper work. I keep feeling the pull to like ancestors and guides. So I think what's happening here is that like your natural tendency is to gravitate towards focusing on work, making money. But that needs to take a pause for a second right now because there's some spiritual stuff that you're doing that needs to like really fully integrate. You might need to take some time off. You might have had a spiritual experience, an awakening, a loss of a loved one or something like that, and you haven't really given yourself the time to really recoup and let what has happened really like download and let you see yourself differently and, just all that stuff that's going on. So take a moment to let that really integrate and try not to let work interfere so much. I'm telling a Capricorn that is like, good luck. Bye, Missy. See you at Single Mingle. Yes. Oh my goodness. I've been seeing all these puppies in their little jackets because it's so cold. So cute. Thanks for being here, Missy. Yes, be safe and stay warm. All right, Aquarius. We're technically open, guys. Hopefully I can get through this before anyone walks in. I still have to open the register. I don't think we have any appointments. But... Aquarius, we are in the Illuminated Tarot. No surprise there. All right, we have the Nine of Spades, Aquarius. Okay. dreams. This is definitely a lot of active dreaming is probably going to be happening for you this weekend. This is like visions. You might actually see figures in your bedroom or in those spaces where you're not sure if you're awake or if you're asleep. You might have like a sleep paralysis experience. If you, have that frequently, that might happen to you. But the nighttime is going to be very active for you mentally. Lots of visions, lots of things to think about, lots of messages and downloads and things coming through. Some that might make you a little bit uncomfortable. It's just an evolution. It's just you coming into understanding more things. So try not to be bothered by it. It's kind of like a you asked for it thing. You're always dabbling off into the out of the box. You're always willing to consider that things are not as people explain them or depict them. So when you actually get proof that in fact these like deeper layers exist, don't be scared. Don't be shocked. You wanted that clarity, and so you are getting it. So there's going to be a lot of illumination and clarity in the next couple of weeks as we pass through this full moon in Leo. It obviously opposes the sun in Aquarius in your sign, and so that is going to bring some conflict or tension, I guess is the word that I would say, because you're obviously very comfortable with the sun in Aquarius, but not so comfortable with the moon being full in Leo. Wanting to assert yourself or identify yourself within the box is annoying to you. Leo doesn't mind that. Leo's like, yes, I am this. And Aquarius is like, what if we just get rid of these labels entirely? So the idea of asserting yourself within confined boundaries or labels in industries that you're working in or communities that you find yourself in is kind of frustrating for you, and it causes a certain amount of stress. But bear with it, because despite how stressful it is for you to have to think of yourself as like being labeled or identifying as one way or another, you are going to get clarity about how you can do that and still feel authentic and still and not feel like you're putting yourself in pigeonholing yourself as one type of person or only capable of one thing or only for one audience or something like that. Okay, so it will feel stressful, but you're going to get your answers, so bear with it and prepare for it. You can make the process a little bit easier for yourself. Have a journal by your bed if you don't already. Maybe burn some relaxing herbs before bed or even smoke some, depending on how your body reacts to that. If doing something like that typically prevents you from dreaming, then I wouldn't do it. But if it won't impact your usual like dream routine, then you might do that just to make it a little bit easier to kind of sit in that conflict. But there will be clarity that comes through that. So you'll figure it out. I know you don't like to label yourself, but there's a way to do it where you can still feel authentic and still feel free. And Pisces, our last zodiac, sun, moon, rising, the full snow moon for Pisces. I thank you in advance for liking this video, for leaving super chats and super thanks, for donating to our outdoor sign at the shop and helping us to build this community. Thank you. Pisces. All right, Pisces, we have the star in the reverse. So Pisces, there may be some of you who have experienced maybe a little bit of a disappointment, feeling like, why is I holding that all the way up here? Dreams, wishes, desires, things that you have been aspiring towards or that you have are either shifting or maybe are on hold a little bit. It does feel like this might be a little bit disappointing, and you sometimes y'all can be in your feels about stuff. And so you might feel like a little bit kind of heavy on the emotional side of things right now because of that. But like the immediate thing that came through with that is that things are just kind of readjusting and shifting. It's not so much that these dreams are not going to be, it's just that they needed a little bit of ironing out. They were a little bit pie in the sky is kind of the message. They were a little bit too wrapped up in a bit of a utopian idea or a utopian outlook, and you needed to balance that out with a little bit more rationale and logic. So this kind of feels like sometimes we might get excited about like a project, for example, that we want to do, and then not think about like permits or insurance coverage or whatever. So it feels like your dream or your idea, your pursuits may have been really steeped in some really good feelings, some really good intentions, and all of that good stuff, but might needed to be tempered with a little bit of rationale and logic and like, okay, how do we actually execute these things in this world of rules and restrictions and all of that stuff. So things are on hold right now and on pause so that you can pay more attention to that element and get those things worked out. And then things can start to kind of restart for you. So while it may feel like a pause or even like an ending to a dream, it isn't. So I would encourage you not to give up on it. This full moon in Leo is probably a helpful time for you to really tap into your own personal willpower, to know that the vision that you have in your mind, you absolutely are capable of willing into being. It's just that this is a physical world that does have its own rules, and you do have to operate within those. So yes, you can will something into being, but if what you will into being is totally illegal according to the laws of like human life, then it is not going to work. So as much as you may be able to manifest something by your sheer will, you still have to make sure that what you are creating is something that can actually be and be sustained in this world. So that balance is important, and that's what you're being asked to figure out during this full moon in Leo, okay? So tap into your willpower, call in the full moon in Leo energy to help you not lose faith that you're able to create what you want, and balance that out a little bit with some rationale, some logic, some attention to detail, and making sure that the thing you're trying to create is not, just too idealistic, that it's actually rooted in some ability to be manifest in this physical world, okay? So your willpower has to kind of like rein in the Aquarian energy so that you're not just dreaming of the vision. You're actually like, okay, now how do I execute and actually make that happen? So the vision's not gone, the dream's not gone. You just got to balance it out with rationale, logic, and real world applications. Thank you, Madeline. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I received that blessing because I expected it, and I thank you for it. All right, guys. So those are our zodiac readings for the full moon, the full snow moon, happening tomorrow, Sunday, February 5th at 1:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I very much appreciate and I'm grateful for your super chats. If you're watching this video on a replay, your super thanks, your donations to the shop if you scanned the QR code. I'm excited to show you the sign when it's done. So thank you for all your support to helping us make it happen. And if you would like a private reading to dive deeper into these things, you can come here to my shop to get a reading from me or any of our wonderful shop witches. We are open today till 5 p.m. And each of us is available for virtual readings for people who are not local. You'll just want to look at each individual reader's blurb on the website. Okay, Meet the Witches. Check us out. And thank you guys for your gifts, your donations. Thank you for buying things from the registry. Thank you for repping the coven and repping the shop with your merch. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next live, which might be a high tea. I did a couple surprise ones, but technically they're supposed to be on the full moon. So I might go live tomorrow or tonight for a little high tea situation. That will be private, coven only video. So stay tuned for that. Yes, everyone stay warm and safe where you are. Thank you for tuning in, you guys. I want to thank our guides, guardians, gods, angels, ancestors, and spirits for the clear and high vibrational messages, and send each of you off into the day with lots of love and light. Thanks for being here. Blessed be. Bye.